Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel for your Crystal Palace versus Chelsea match preview here on GBFC. We've got like a reflection in the mirror behind me, which could be a bit distracting, I apologise, but it's actually a glass window, it's not even a mirror at all. I'm staying in a beautiful place for the weekend, I'm away for the weekend, but hopefully 6 Things We Learned will be out straight after the game tonight. It's an 11 in the evening kickoff, so the game finishes at like 1. It's not too bad. The video should be out straight after for 6 Things We Learned after Chelsea. Hopefully, go to SELHURST Park, get ourselves an away win in the Premier League and keep ourselves on course. As our manager said in the press conference, we are in a fight for the top 4. We're not challenging for the title. City is so far ahead. We've got a Carabao Cup final next week, and we've got to use the momentum of winning that Club World Cup just a week ago, win this Premier League game, and then go into that final with the optimism that we can beat an incredibly good Liverpool side. They were brilliant against Inter Milan, but we can't look forward to that just now because Crystal Palace away under Patrick Vieira is not going to be an easy game. The best news about this one for Chelsea is that Conor Gallagher is ineligible. And that is great because he's had a wonderful season. Obviously, he's on loan from Chelsea, so he's not allowed to play against us, which is kind of lucky because Conor Gallagher has been so consistently good. He covers so much ground for Palace. He's scoring goals, getting assists, and he's one of their key players this season. And like we've said this week, we expect him to come back to Chelsea, get a pre-season, and hopefully see him in the first team next year. Palace have also got a lot of other good players. They've not got too much more injury news to worry about. Patrick Vieira said it in his press conference. No new injuries. I think just Ferguson and Will Hughes are going to be out for this game, formerly of Watford. And they've got some good, solid players. And I'm a little bit concerned with the wing-backs or the full-backs that we've got. And I've gone with a back 4 in my formation today. My main concern is that Crystal Palace either target Chelsea's left side or we come undone from some of the brilliant players that they do have out in the wide areas. And I'm just hoping that Thiago Silva can bully Wilfried Zaha again to the point where it's usually Reece James that bullies Zaha, but we can just get anyone bullying Wilfried Zaha and he gets so wound up that maybe he gets a red card. We'll see. But before anything else, I do want to ask you to subscribe to the George Benson Football Channel and hit the like button on this match preview if you haven't already done so. If we can get 2,000 likes before kickoff, then I will be a very happy man. We begin with the goalkeeper. Edouard Mendy is, of course, the number 1. Thomas Tuchel was asked about it again this week, talking about how good Kepa's been. He would be Chelsea's number 1 if it wasn't for Edouard Mendy. It's kind of like a sarcastic answer where he gives the praise to Kepa Arrizabalaga, like, yeah, Kepa could easily be Chelsea's number 1 keeper because he's a top quality keeper, but it's unfortunate for him in a personal sense that Edouard Mendy is at the club because Edouard Mendy is right now the form goalkeeper in the world. He's winning every single trophy that he seems to set out to win apart from the Premier League this season. And we're absolutely blessed to be in this position where Thomas Tuchel is asked about his second choice goalkeeper, but he kind of sees them both as being the number 1. And it's great news for Chelsea. Mendy back in goal in the Premier League. We move into a back 4 today. I said it in the video I made this week where I gave 4 different formations that Chelsea could possibly progress with now. Mason Mount's injury is not as bad as we once feared. He's only going to be out this week and then he's fighting to try and get back for the League Cup final next week. No guarantees that he's going to be fit and ready to face Liverpool, but without Mason Mount in the team, I think Chelsea do need to adjust the way that we play, not just in the middle and going forward, but from the back as well. And I think in the Club World Cup final, we went with a 3-4-2-1, which is why Hakim Ziyech wasn't in the team. But I think against Palace, we're going to need to be a little bit more rigid, which we do get with the 3 at the back system in terms of solidity in defence. But we really need to fix this lack of fluidity going forward. And I think Chelsea at the moment, we are better going forward when we play with 4 at the back as opposed to 3 centre-backs and 2 wing-backs. So the 4 I've gone for, Azpilicueta starting on the right. Reece James is not yet integrated into team training, so there's no chance we see him tomorrow. In the middle, Thiago Silva and Tony Rudiger. This partnership is absolutely unbreakable right now for Chelsea, whether Trevor Chalobah wants in on that, Christensen wants in on that, Malang Sarr, no one is getting past Silva and Rudiger. If it's a back 4, it's those 2. If it's a back 3, It's those two and whoever else, Chalobah, Christensen, who can play alongside of them. It's a phenomenal partnership. We are blessed, similarly to the goalkeeper situation, to have two of the highest in their game right now defenders. Thiago Silva, after seeing him lift another trophy for Chelsea last week, another European Cup, it is absolutely amazing that we've got this guy. How we have managed to get 3 seasons out of this bloke, he's 37 years old now, is beyond me. I've got no concerns over his fitness. He can come back from Brazil, play a match 2 days later, get man of the match. The guy is an absolute phenomenon, and I cannot wait to see him play again in a Chelsea shirt today away at Palace. Left back, Marcos Alonso. Alonso at left back. It is not something that I can ever approach in a preview with confidence, but I just think Alonso's going to play over Malang Sarr in that position today. It was a 50-50 in my head. I think with Sarr, we get a bit more pace. I think going forward, Malang Sarr is not as accomplished as Marcos Alonso. And I think with the midfield two that I have in the holding role today, don't see Chelsea having that much going forward from the midfield, other than the fact that we've got 4 out-and-out attackers now in my starting 11. But moving into that midfield, on the right-hand side, Hakim Ziyech starts. I think he's got to be back in the team if we're going with a 4. This is very interesting now. After Tuchel's comments about Ziyech didn't start in the Club World Cup final despite his form because Tuchel chose a 3-4-2-1. If Ziyech doesn't start today, yet Chelsea do revert to a 4-4-2-esque kind of formation or a 4-2-2-2, whatever, then I think it is concerning. And it would make me question a lot about what is going through Tuchel's mind if, let's say, we didn't win and Hakim Ziyech doesn't start. I'm just wondering what the hell we're doing at this point. Hakim Ziyech's on the right, Jorginho, Kovacic in the middle. That sounded very aggressive against our manager there. It's not like that, but I just think Ziyech's been so good, I need to see him on that right-hand side. Kovacic and Jorginho in the middle. With the 3 that we've got, Kova, Kante, Jorginho, like I've said this week, we're blessed to have so many different options here between that trio. So for this game, N'Golo Kante's been playing a lot. We've got Liverpool next week in a cup final. I just think that we're going to rest Kante for that game. I think Kante's become that player where he's probably not going to play 100% of matches because of how many little injuries he gets. But Liverpool in a final, we've seen just how good this man can be, not only in finals, but against Liverpool in finals as well. So we're going to go with Kovacic and Jorginho for this game. Control the midfield. They got no Gallagher, but I think Chelsea could dominate with the midfield too of Kovacic and Jorginho. Moving over to the left-hand side, Christian Pulisic. I really, really hope that Pulisic starts today. I think his performance in the final deserves it. I think he worked incredibly hard, was looking sharp, was unlucky not to have a goal. Christian Pulisic coming in off the left-hand side today. It was between him and Callum Hudson-Odoi. No Mason Mount available, of course, he's injured. I just want Pulisic to be given this shot, and I think he'll get it. And then a front two of Kai Havertz and Romelu Lukaku. Massive game for both of these players today. Havertz needs to, like he didn't do really, when he scored the Champions League final goal at the start of this season, I thought he was going to kick on. He didn't do that. Lukaku, 2 goals in the last 2 games. Build on that. Keep delivering those goals. Keep working hard for the team. And I think eventually, if Chelsea and Tuchel can persist with Havertz and Lukaku up front together, I think it only bodes well. I think if these two can find a link-up, make the combinations in the final third, Havertz make runs off of Lukaku, I think Chelsea could succeed. And I think this formation today is a very strong onus on trusting the defence, even in a back 4, but is a strong onus on getting more creative attacking players on the field to make a difference and to change what has been a very, very strong impotency in front of goal from Chelsea recently. I've said that a lot this week. It's been like, despite winning a final last weekend, a lot of the videos this week have been like, players might be leaving, contract extensions, progressively looking forward to the business that Chelsea may need to do. But this game today against Palace is massive. United beat Brighton in the week. We've got to have an eye over our shoulder with the intentions of also closing that point gap on Liverpool and Manchester City, who are both looking so incredibly strong, not just in English football, but in Europe as well. Huge wins for both of them this week in the Champions League. And then Chelsea have got to do the job now, looking forward to that Carabao Cup final that we desperately want next week at Wembley. But anyway, let me know your Chelsea starting 11 in the comments below. My score prediction for this game today, I think we're going to win 2-1. I think Palace will score, but I think we're going to get a late winner, and it could be even just a penalty. Whether it's Havertz or Jorginho, we'll see who's on the field at the time. Maybe Havertz wins it for us again. 2-1 Chelsea is my prediction. Let me know yours in the comments below, and I'll see you after the game for 6 things we learned. Come on, you Blues.